Another new face, glorious. It is so cold, my fingers appear to be in rigor. I've not slept in 3 days, and I've any number of high-risk patients in need of tending. I trust you'll pardon my brusque manner. You've something of import to discuss, I gather? Well, the answer is doubtful, given the scarcity we're experiencing.
Welcome back, Cynthia.
Invasive elements.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted physician. We're all in this together.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain our sense of community.
Unfriendly nearby.
Hoyt. Name's Hoyt, right? I've noted some right sophisticated interactions among the Crabbles lately. Intricate courtship rituals.
I'll handle this.
All about thermal transfer. When my unit was I kept making excuses to sneak off and observe them. Product research, I said. Very hush-hush. Eventually gave my lieutenant a field promotion and ordered them all away. Been living off the land here like the Crabbles ever since. Their unfertilized roe actually makes for some good eating. Included some with this message. Eat up.
Prudence dictates. Repel invasive elements.
Let's pinpoint what you and I can accomplish for the Order. I shall allow myself a moment of relief. Moment passed. I'd hoped killing the cultists was its own reward. But you may also take this. You've proven yourself well, but we have recently experienced a pivotally important, unforeseen development. One I must meet directly. Can I count on you? One of the satellites comprising the Hyperion web was struck by a wayward craft and crashed on Paradise Island. I need someone to recover an informational component from it. I hope your zeal is properly placed. The Protectorate soldiers guarding the crash site are unlikely to let you close, unless something else is made to arrest their attention. I cannot say how that might be accomplished, unfortunately. Some of our scholars find answers to their solutions at the CAF integration point. Perhaps you might do the same. Collect the data from the crashed site and return it here. May the odds prevail against your bloody demise.
Commander, this unit requests your presence in the cockpit to discuss a priority matter. A significant anomaly has been detected by onboard sensors. This unit has cross-checked all data points and verified the findings. Horizon Point Station has reappeared. Providing intellectual validation to this unit's queue. Priority low. Based on energy readings, Horizon Point has been reconstituted by the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator, thus confirming the Archive's theory. While present data does not indicate if Horizon Point poses an immediate threat, a survey of the reconstituted station is advised as soon as possible. Calculating. According to the Archive, closing all rifts requires locating the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator and inputting the rift data processed by the Archive. However, before navigating to Horizon Point Station, it is recommended you conclude all other affairs. Leaving will be highly unlikely due to the high levels of rift energy. That is a correct assessment, Commander. In the meantime, Commander, it is worth considering your lack of formal alliances. Without Auntie's choice or the Order's help, you will have to face Horizon Point's dangers alone. Failure to make proper preparations raises the likelihood of death and serious injury occurring. Agents are encouraged to establish themselves as a friend to colonists and other local entities. These relationships can be effective points of exploitation at a later date. It appears Horizon Point Station is still in the process of being reconstituted. The rift itself is also more unstable than ever. As a result, landing closer to the location of the Protectorate's large-scale rift anomaly modulator is not possible. In order to modify it with the rift data you processed in the archive, you will need to travel to its location on foot and seize it from Protectorate control. The energy readings from the modulator can be traced to the Sovereign's flagship, Providence, hovering on the far side of the station. Hypothesizing. Given Protectorate hierarchy and the recent announcement about the Sovereign's mental refreshment, this is likely the Consul's doing. He will need to be stopped.
But to what end is he working here? The Consul I once knew would never act so recklessly.
The Consul's motives are unknown. While destruction may be the result, it may not be the goal. Warning. The rift is growing dangerously unstable. Using the rift modulator on board the Providence is the only way to prevent certain destruction of the colony.
I can foresee a few likely instances where you could use my skills and experience.
Once the modulator is secured, it may be used to close the rift and save Arcadia and all those in its orbit. There is minimal room for error, Commander. Good luck. Failure to match nearby hostiles to new Protectorate biological signatures.
Yes, that's definitely the Sovereign's ship.
Eyes, the ears, the brains. We're to one station to determine who introduced the flaw into our perfect skip drive manufacturing process. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate, but none of us...
Horizon Point appears to have undergone severe degradation over the past 10 years. Exploding may have been a contributing factor.
Is this what happens when someone clings too tightly to the past?
Eyes, the ears, the brains. We're to one station to determine...
Never doubt it. Their zeal never lasts.
Fortifications.
Waiting for...
Without the rift modulator, I doubt we'll make much progress.
We ought to find another way. Vitals are in the red, Commander. Apologies.
But no targets, no attack. Short on targets at the moment.
Health benefits available at your request.
Threat detected.
Proceeding to attack.
Hideous state of existence.
Ratcheting up my aggression.
Enemy intercepted.
Mitigating the threat. Fortification in progress.
Emergency protocol syringes primed.
Charge! Hostilities are afoot.
N-ray. Exposure. Undermining.
Maintaining perfection.
Taking the fight out of them.
Mobility. Interrupted. N-ray. Exposure. Undermining.
Get away from me. See them? They were my teammates and they didn't listen neither. You'll end up just the same.
Agent Pascal is exhibiting 27 indicators of high mental and emotional distress. Caution is advised.
Wait. Commander? Is that you? No. No, this must be some kind of trick. Oh, what's happening to me? What do you think I am? I don't even know if you're you, or if any of this is real. Something was wrong with Sandoval and Jepson. They glowed like they were aflame. They ran in, jumped at me, clawed at me. Oh, I had to kill them. How do I know you won't turn against me as well? How do I know you won't come at me with murder in your eyes?
I swear, by the grand plan and all things numerological, what the commander says is true.
You do seem like yourself, Commander. Can you tell me what's happening? I can't make much sense of things myself. Everything was fine. Till the explosion. I was pinned. Fire closed in. I tried to move. I tried to find the rookie. Then the whole station shook and tore apart. And then... nothing.
This woman was alive when the rift consumed the station. That's the key piece of data here. Thus, the modulator reconstructed her in the same state. Alive. Although, hardly well.
Wait. There was something else. Sandoval was yelling. DeVries wasn't responding to comms. What happened? A rift. That's right. We were here to investigate rifts. So why is there one in the sky? Why is everything destroyed? What's happening to me? And Sandoval? Jepson?
The process is referred to as reconstitution. The information contained within a rift is reformed into physical matter, however imperfectly.
So I've come back from death to some warped version of life? All because of some twisted experiment? Is that about right? You can help me though. Right, Commander? You can do something to fix this. How much time? With the way I'm bleeding out, I ain't sure how long I can hold on. Then go bring the fight to those bastards. I'll do my best to hold on. Hurry back, huh? I'll keep the porch light on. I'll just wait here.
Sovereign's ship up close.
I think it's safety to this non-playable. Or on that rover approaching the skip lab. Resorting to violence.
Engagement imminent.
Proceeding to attack.
Weapon ready, Commander.
taking the fight out of them.
Exposure. Undermining. Functioning.
Suggest we scour the area. The scientists here were unlikely near the caliber of the Order, but perhaps
This is scientist Bernard Rand, sent to Horizon.
This terminal entry has a 98% chance of containing statements that are 100% false.
Congratulations! We have successfully cracked a difficult equation. Now we only need return to the terminal and input. Splendid. Rift secure.
Hypothesis was correct all along. The results from the experiments were faulty. Capture the readings. We'll let the blame settle as it lies. Data retrieval complete. The others return shortly.
Emergency protocols ready. This rover is now the property of the Earth Directorate.
Now to unseal that hangar.
Intruder alert. Be vigilant.
Idols are in the red, Commander. Imitating the threat, taking the fight out of them.
replace lost equipment, please submit proof of punishment. Unit does not accept blood. Please make a request. Displaying inventory.
Help you with something?
Emergency.
What kind of tomfoolery is this? Well, fair enough.
Reminder, any and all screams of agony will be reported to your superior. How might this unit bolster or reduce your current blood volume? Request received. Locating crew list medical tools. Complete. Commencing medical procedure.
Multiple threats and hazards identified ahead. Seeking an alternative to direct conflict is recommended.
Hostilities are afoot. Go for torpification.
Standing by to stupefy. Medic, please!
That wasn't so difficult now, was it?
Under these circumstances, locating the access credentials or proceeding by stealth is recommended. The rift modulator is likely located on this deck. More information may aid in its acquisition.
Did you not hear the intruder alert from the crew deck? This is a very poor time to be loitering somewhere you should not. You'd best present a very convincing reason for your presence, lest I order our automechs to smear you across the floor. Oh, are you a rift specialist? You should share your progress with Chief Scientist Montserrat. He's in the rift chamber. Here, I'll lend you my access credentials as proof of your authorization. Of course, the Consul's vision for an idealized version of Arcadia are paramount to my own aims. It's my wife, you see. She's never loved me, and she chews with her mouth open. Through the Consul's plan, I expect to see both issues rectified, especially the latter one. Montserrat asserts that this is not how the rift shall work, but I believe he simply needs to redouble his devotion.
Fortunately, the ship makes a convenient carrying case. Just need to learn how it all...
I received word that you were here. Rift specialist, are you? What exactly was it you needed? I'm rather short on time, as a gander outside might tell you. Yeah, well, we all have urgent needs. And mine is to keep my lab, and hopefully the rest of this system, from falling apart. I need the modulator for my own analysis. You can wait. I apologize. Suppose I can trust you with this information then. Matriarch knows one more voice might help us out of this mess. Our situation is far more dire than it may seem. There is no proof that Rift data can be stabilized or even edited. The Consul's plan will fail completely. But he no longer listens to me, which is distressing. I've prepared a report for him showing how the very structure of the modulator makes what we're attempting impossible. But I doubt he will pay it much mind. Yes, but as I said, I fear the report won't do any good. It's clear you aren't bound by the same rules as the rest of us somehow. If he won't hear Mia, perhaps a third party will have more luck. Here, use this keycard on the module over there. It'll allow you to download my report and grant you access to the control deck. I hope you're able to sway him. Because if you don't, we're all dead. A deck up in the control room. The console is the only one who has the means of controlling it, which makes your persuading him that much more necessary. Go now.
Accessing report. Rift Restoration Analysis. Compiled by Chief Scientist Monserrate. Marked for delivery to Consul Thoreau.
Esteemed Consul, after much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator we have worked tirelessly to build will not function as intended when used for reconstituting matter from rifts. Every test of reconstitution has resulted in demonstrable failure. Proceeding as we are now with Horizon Point Station will surely lead to severe, unanticipated consequences. The modulator is only effective at closing rifts from unsafe distances. Using it to close exacerbated rifts will certainly lead to the destruction of any vessel carrying it. Unfortunately, the data that we originally had hoped for from the ancient rifts detected in the far reaches of space untouched by humanity has not yielded any of its secrets. And we are now out of time. All of our recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control of this rift. I recommend diverting from our current plan before it is too late for Arcadia. I've included extensive notes and annotations appended to the modulator schematics to substantiate these conclusions. I know you will guide us wisely, my dear Consul.
Schematics acquired. However, the information should remain your top priority, Commander. Please postpone any existential crises for a later date.
Go about your business. Or you're not.
Priority reminder. The only way to shut down the Rift modulator is by dealing with the console. Convincing the console to stand down may be possible through a series of deft verbal maneuvers, though it is unlikely.
But if you push him too far, prepare for violence. I predictably am already prepared. Little boys like him usually do. Saves them from scrutinizing their actions.
Before facing the console, it is advisable to prepare yourself by whatever means you can, including but not limited to replenishing supplies and reconnaissance.
You've come quite close enough. Sentinels, if you would.
Your tampering with the rifts is against the plan. A correction is imminent, and none of us may survive it.
So passionately delivered, and yet so utterly incorrect. What you are witnessing is my saving of Arcadia, and ridding it permanently of trespassers like you. You are less a guest and more of an invasive species, Commander. One that I will cull in short order. Yes, I know well who you are. In any other situation, I might be compelled to take you apart and see how precisely it is you operate, but time, it would seem, isn't on your side. You are a relic of an impotent institution, propelled forward by nothing more than luck and foolhardy metal. Oh, I'm sure you believe yourself capable. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single moment.
You're proud of your actions? You consider it an achievement?
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. Very well. Once the rift destroys Arcadia, we shall edit the information stored within it and use the modulator to reshape our colony into its perfect form. Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but without it, we might never have opened our eyes to our true purpose and the possibility of Arcadia's rebirth. When the matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path, and I will do my part as the architect intended. I cannot blame you people for clinging to the ill-gotten authority you've wielded for so long, but your lot will now be one of disappointment. This future is what is owed to us. In the matriarch's younger years, she discovered a crashed ship deep in the Earth, and in it, the very first skip drive known to humanity. She dissected this tech, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse. And, well, that eventually led to the manifestation of rifts. But it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that we understood the opportunity gifted us. The opportunity to reconstruct the colony in its perfect form. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future. One free of doubt and greed. I've found when most people haven't a leg to stand on, they fall back into performative insouciance in an attempt to redirect the conversation. Always brazen, rarely effective. Listen closely. This is the work of the Grand Plan, guiding us toward humanity's ascension. Everything exists for this purpose. Since you took your time scurrying about my ship, presumably rifling through our things, I assume you also found information about the far-off rifts in untraversed space. That alone should tell you that we don't make our own circumstances. It seems they were made by the ship our matriarch found. A curiosity, isn't it? Without this discovery, we may never have realized the power we now possess with the rifts. Yes, the great architect works in mysterious ways. What else can I do but what is bidden? And yet, what is meant to be, will be. It matters not what path you tread, if the destination has been preordained. Now, as fascinating as your pseudo-intellectual musings have been to witness, I've reached my limit. It's your time that's running out, not mine. So go on, tell me all the ways I'm wrong. Better yet, tell the whole room how His Eminence, the Sovereign, was wrong. This was originally his plan, after all. I am merely a partner seeing it carried out. If it means preserving the matriarch's legacy and the dedicated protectorate among us, yes, without question. Those who are worthy will live again. As for the others, they are no innocents. I shall not mourn any perpetrator of unsanctioned violence or treachery, and will in fact thrive in their absence.
Your statements do not indicate strong leadership potential.
Hush. I was conversating with your leader here. How dare you insinuate a betrayal? I've known the Sovereign, Henry, since he was a boy. But I had to step in as his advisor to guide him in the proper direction. He was stagnant. He could not do what he was born to. He could not save Arcadia or his legacy. Once he understood his ineptitude, Architect help him. He made the right decision. They will not. The people know that the truth is whatever we declare it to be. An alternative is something they could not even fathom. So you say, but you've yet to deliver any compelling evidence.
I doubt you've had anyone capable checking your calculations. You don't strike me as particularly thorough, or much of a heavy thinker.
I am the chosen shepherd of Arcadia and will not be spoken to like this. I am only doing what I must to restore this colony to what our matriarch envisioned. Free of war, strife, heresy. You must know that you have little chance of swaying me. I will not be distracted from taking what is owed to us. And what is your definition of wrong? Have you anything substantial to back such a claim? I see. Well, the man was always a cynic. I find that attitude can skew results even more than a thumb on the scale might. One data point means little. The Protectorate was clearly meant to harness this power. Nothing you claim can disprove everything that points to this reality. And now I've reached the end of my patience. You came here claiming so boldly that I would fail, but you have yet to provide any proof. So where is it? What do you have? Indeed. Then why wait?
Hostilities are afoot. Mitigating the threat.
When ready, Commander.
Access the helm. Now!
Field calculations suggest the rift will soon completely destabilize. The rift modulator can be utilized to stop it, but the only way to do so is to fly it inside.
An Earth Directorate agent always has choices, including, but not limited to, extrajudicial killing. Self-destructing is not permitted by this unit's programming. It has been an honor serving with you, Commander. Please submit any feedback on your Valerie unit's performance before sacrificing yourself to the Void.
All right. Somebody reliable ought to safeguard the schematics, ensure humanity is saved, and such and the like. If you won't, guess I'd better. Between these and the processed rift data, I'm sure someone can science up modulators usable at a safe distance. Rifts will soon be a thing of the past.
Acknowledged. Preserving the schematics for the following purpose: saving humanity. Good luck with your imminent death, Commander.
So, in the end, the commanders sacrificed themselves to save the galaxy. No one knew their motives or thoughts in those final moments, though legends grew around this mythical agent of the Earth Directorate all the same. Vigilant Hogarth was declared a traitor to the Protectorate, along with most other Westport townsfolk. They were judged according to the paradigm, then sentenced to be executed until dead, forever tied to the city they could not protect. Having died at the peace talks, Augustine de Vries' treachery was never known to the Earth Directorate. She is forever remembered as the star agent who tragically went missing during her mission. Val continued to serve the Earth Directorate faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. Niles remained torn about the Earth Directorate and his place in it. His victory at the reconstituted Horizon Point turned to ash in his mouth when he learned that his friend, Zebulon Tran, was captured while attempting a heist on the tomb of the matriarch. Niles slipped away from the incognito one evening to attempt to free Zebulon from mental refreshment and make amends for the past. He was never seen or heard from again, Forced to think for themselves after a lifetime of luxurious certainty, Protectorate hardliners banded together to preserve their society. Without the Order or the corporatists controlling Arcadia, they had a real chance at making a comeback. Sovereign Varric was eventually discovered in mental refreshment in a placid and compliant state. All parties felt it would be best to leave him in the hands of the remaining Protectorate, who had the most experience with refreshment's process and victims. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. With unfettered access to skip drives and beholden to no one, the Earth Directorate became what it was always meant to be, the ultimate authority in Arcadia. The colony served as a base to expand the agency's reach across the galaxy. Meanwhile, the Earth Directorate controlled Arcadia with little trouble for a time, successfully rebranding it as a society free of corporate or government overreach. Yet, as the years passed, the Arcadians saw fewer and fewer differences between the Earth Directorate and their previous overlords. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate Agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.